know it's tough out there.
Together, we can.
It takes a big heart to change people's lives.
We're both working jobs. That's when September 11th happened, and we both ended up getting laid off from work. The lot that we have from Hawaiian Homes was actually my dad's. He didn't have any money to build anything on it, so he was gonna give it back to Hawaiian Homes for, whatever family that needed it. And so I decided to move down there and told my dad that that's all we have. We started off living in a minibus. We lived there with my husband and I and my 3 kids, so that was a tight squeeze. It was home and it was ours. After I had my 4th child, that's when we ended up building the 20 by 20 shack that we're living in for over 5 years. In 2006, the earthquake shifted our structure, so it was a matter of time before maybe something else drastic would have happened, that it would actually collapse. The United Way and Habitat for Humanity changed our lives. Words can't explain it. Just can't. They're like an extended family to us. They've been there from the beginning to the end, making sure everything goes right. And there's a lot more families out there that needs the help. How many times I walked in there when nobody was building our house at night, when I would come home from work and just look around and start crying, thinking, when it's done, we're gonna be in here and it's ours.
Well, I wanted to beat diabetes. In fact, the first day I went to Bay Clinic, my glucose around 600. The normal is between 70 and 110. And today it's around 115. And I'm on my way to recovery. Bay Clinic is like more my family than my family is. Saved my life.
I was playing Russian roulette with vodka. I woke up in the emergency room. That same day, I was fortunate enough to get into MHK. Mental Health Kukua provided me a safe haven to where I could get myself back on my feet and recover my life.
My son was born with a disadvantage. When he reached a year old, he wasn't crawling, he wasn't walking, he wasn't doing the normal things, and we had a specialist check him up and found out that he had mild retardation. Jason, my son, is a 27-year-old adult that has a level at about 5 or 6 years old. So we can't leave him alone. We can't just let him cross the street by himself. There's a lot of things that we have to realize. Even though he's an adult, we have to manage our life to take care of him as a 5 or 6-year-old. I don't mean to brag about it, but 27-year-old, he doesn't want a race car. He ride motorcycle with me, and he do everything. And sometimes we cruise him down the road, and he's with his helmet on, trying to kiss me and say, "Oh, Dad, this is fun, this is fun." The few words that he can't say, it makes you. It's touching. It makes you want to continue life. It's 7 years that he's been there, and it's a wonderful thing for him because of a program like the Arc of Hilo, who United Way supports. I speak for any parent that have special needs child, but you have to do what you have to do, and programs like this, it's wonderful because we can actually live a normal life and give Jason the best that we possibly can. My wife and I is doing the best we can, and it's okay. The gift that people give that can help the program, it's very, very important. If I could give everybody a hug and tell them thanks, I would, because it means a lot to me and my wife as parents of a special needs child. and we appreciate it very much. It's wonderful. We'll do the best we can.
My parents got divorced when I was pretty young, and it was really stressful when you're living in like a lower income area and there's just a lot of problems that you can get into. Sometimes the home isn't enough and you really need a place where you can get away. I was able to go to the Boys and Girls Club and felt that I belonged and felt that I was loved. The Boys and Girls Club on the Big Island really does give kids a chance. One of the happiest times in my life was getting the Youth of the Year award because it opened up a lot of opportunities in my life, self-confidence, speech skills, being able to interact with people more easily. It was a really big part of my life.
It's been 4 years for us as a family where we have been involved with hospice because in the last 4 years we've lost 5 close family members, starting with an uncle, 6 months later my wife, a year later my grandmother, 6 months later my grandfather, and then 6 months later my mom, who passed away on the 1st of June. So for us, hospice has been, they have been like the angels in the darkness of night. I don't know if you can imagine how excruciating it is to lose that many people in such a short time. When my wife passed away 3 years ago, I had 5 children, and so it was a very difficult time in our lives, coming to grips with losing my wife and for my kids to lose their mother. And the hospice people, they come into your home and they bring so much compassion. And it's a time where you're so disoriented, and they come into your home and in the midst of the pain give you the feeling that it's gonna be okay. They know what they're doing. They are so caring and so sensitive. And so we experienced that with my wife, and it was amazing. It was amazing. I don't know how we would have done it without them. I watched my parents all through our lives give generously to all kinds of causes, and their advice to us was, when you give, you receive. And in a time in your life when there's death and dying going on and you're so vulnerable, it's a blessing to know that people have given in a time when they were strong to be able to help those in a time when they are weak. To see my mom receiving back after so many years of giving, it was really a blessing.
The Hawaii Island United Way does amazing things.
Thank you for your gift to the Hawaii Island United Way.
98%.
98% stays right here.
41 agencies.
55 programs.
If this is your first time giving to the Hawaii Island United Way,
Thank you.
Mahalo.
If you're a long-time donor, I love you.
I love you.
mahalo.
Together we can.
We can't do it without you.
Together, all of us can.
For people to give to Hawaii Island United Way, you end up being blessed.